Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on what time zone you're in or what time you're watching this video. Today, we are back with some more Ren. As we kind of dive down the rabbit hole after High Ren, I am completely obsessed, both in the musicianship, the directing, just everything about everything that Ren did in that was just awesome. And so today we're going to explore chalk outlines. This is actually Ren and Chinchilla. I don't think I've ever seen anything from Chinchilla, so this will be my first time seeing anything from them. So this will be interesting. But without further ado, let's get started. Okay, what do all those say? The depreciation. That's one of the big things. Oh, there it is again. Is that theaters? Asset summary. Is this finance? Just kind of looking through it. But depreciation too could be like how so depreciation, what it means is something over time its value decreases. So this could even be like we're talking about depreciation and look like a finance kind of like wall of books, but I wonder if it's also depreciation like loss of sense of kind of self-confidence or belief, or just like overall how much we value ourselves. Because that seemed to be the word that stood out the most. Oh, so that was all books and here's kind of empty? Are we gonna get more devil on the shoulder? Or was that like a shock? Some sort of shock again? It's really interesting that now there's nothing in the hallway. It's almost ominous. He's also, again, wearing all white, like kind of the way you would expect someone in some sort of asylum to be wearing it. So I wonder if we're going to have something about that. I'm sure it's going to have some sort of mental introspection, but let's see where it goes. That was like a jump scare. Oh my god. Maybe that's what it was meant to do, you know? Is this all gonna be one take?
I'm still here in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning.
That's basically saying like you're lying in bed awake and it's still lying in bed trying to get to sleep, because it's saying I hope I'm someone else in the morning, implying that it's not morning yet. But my god, that's like, it's like the feeling of you, there's two ways you can take that. One is either you just don't want to be yourself because maybe you think there are flaws in you and you hope that you're someone else, or the experiences that you're having are such an excruciating experience that you hope you're someone else, so that for the sake of not having to go through those things. And so it's not about yourself, it's kind of about your environment, or it is about yourself and you just want to be someone else in the morning. You could take it either way.
So take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine.
Okay.
And walk around in the floating chalk outline.
Oh my god. Now I understand the title. So chalk outline. A couple things there. One is wash it down, take another one. It's like take a pill, right? Probably one, since this person's having trouble sleeping and overall seem to be kind of wanting a different life. It could be a pill for sleep, it could be a pill for depression, it could be for anxiety. But we take some sort of pill to try to help us kind of improve our overall experience. And what he's saying though is, but after you take that pill, you're a floating chalk outline, right? And chalk outline, there's kind of multiple things to think about from there. One is chalk outline in terms of when you're at a crime scene, it's when someone's dead, right? And so at that point, it's you're through taking those pills, sure, you're maybe managing some of the symptoms, but overall it's like the person that you were is dead. and so you've lost yourself in that sense. And then the other thing is the chalk outline is white on the outside and hollow on the inside, right? There's nothing inside. And so it's almost saying by taking these pills, again, you make your exterior feel better. It looks better from the outside, but on the inside, you're hollowed out. There's nothing left of you inside it, or at least not the same version of you left inside. And then the last thing about that is this chalk outlines. And when you think about like what a tablet is, like if you go to a pharmacy and you take down some of the tablets, like ultimately tablets look like they're chalk, right? They look like they're made of chalk because they've got a lot of them are like that white and then the graininess to them. And so it's almost like there's 3 plays on this one line, which is already amazing. And all of this stems from because you don't want to be yourself, but by not wanting to be yourself, you're killing yourself to get to that other person that you want, that you hope you can feel like. But by feeling like them, it's not yourself, and so you're almost doing yourself an injustice. But you're caught in this loop, and it's kind of like cyclical. It's you don't feel good, and the way that you feel good is by taking a pill, but when you take that pill, you lose yourself. And then but again, by losing yourself, you don't feel good, and so you feel like you need to take another pill, and then it goes back and back and back on its own self, like a vicious cycle. Wow, Ren, just the wordplay, the lyricism, just the thoughts to be able to put that down on paper in such a creative way, amazing.
So it goes, let it be.
That was beautiful.
In the gallows, balanced on my toes so I can breathe.
So it goes, let it be. It's like probably what you hear from everyone else. It's like, yeah, that's just the way it is. You gotta do it. You gotta take those pills. You gotta feel better. And the only way you're gonna feel better is to take those pills, right? So you keep taking them. But when you take them, you feel like you're in the gallows, and the gallows is basically like where you hang someone, right? And that's what he's saying. Like you can feel the rope, right? And but you're trying to breathe, and so you're trying to pull it away, but the way that you got to the gallows, like it's you're trapped, right? You feel like you need to take the medicine, but the medicine is killing you slowly. So you've already got your head in the noose, but you're trying to breathe and it's suffocating you just by taking the medicine. And you don't know what else to do. So you're on your toes, kind of gasping for air, doing whatever you can. And even the way that he's singing this, the way that his voice is kind of, it sounds like a plea. It sounds like someone who's kind of lost doesn't know what to do. They're not sure anymore, but this is the best that they can think of in this moment. And that's what it feels like we're experiencing right now. And that's what the experience is. It's whether it's like taking prescribed medications or maybe it's even substance abuse, where after a while it's like that's the only way you feel normal. But by feeling normal, you're putting your head in the noose because you're losing yourself over time, becoming a chalk outline. That's beautiful.
But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile.
Bury myself with a great big smile. Wow. Couple things there, like little by little, bit by bit. Like he's saying that over time, slowly but surely, like it may feel like it's helping, but you're becoming more like that chalk outline. And then he says, bury yourself with a great big smile. Like, yeah, you exterior on the outside, you maybe look a lot better, and other people perceive you as being a lot better. But that smile is not necessarily genuine because one, it's not you, but two, it's burying in 2 ways. One, it's burying your other emotions because there's other things that you're probably dealing with, right? And you're using that smile, that fake smile, not necessarily fake smile, but that smile that's supported by the medication or the bad habit, whatever it might be. Like now we're starting to get the picture that it might not just be prescribed medications, it might be substance abuse. But either way, you're using them to get to the place where you're at that smile, but that smile is bearing down your other emotions so that you don't have to deal with them. And so overall, you're kind of just putting a band-aid on a massive cut, right? It's not actually doing anything to help out. It just feels like it is. But then also bury myself in the great big smile. It's quite literally, we were talking about how chalk outlines are put around someone who's dead. You're burying yourself because you're dead. You've passed away. The true, you feel like you're gone. You feel like you're dead inside. And that's what you're doing by, oh my God, just the lyricism is so good.
I'll bury myself with a great big smile.
And look at the way he says it, the great big smile, and it sounds like almost like it's mocking it, like it's not even like a real smile to him at this point, because it's just a fake smile that he puts on for other people almost, which is what a lot of us do, right? When we go through experiences, we feel like upset about things, or we feel hurt by something, but we don't necessarily share it because we feel like, one, it either makes us look weak to other people, or two, we just don't want to burden other people. And both of those, like, as much as we try to convince ourselves overall that that's kind of the way to go, it's not. We need to share how we're feeling, because if we don't, we end up with these situations where we try to find other things, other vices that will help us get over them, right? And that's why when we go back to him going through therapy, therapy was helping, like in high Ren, therapy was helping him kind of get to a point where he's feeling better, but eventually that voice comes back. And so it's like, without therapy, or without kind of discussing, without having your emotions kind of shared with other people in this human experience that we all go through, we all experience sorrow, we all experience pain. If we don't share it and try to help each other through it, it's a lot harder, right? If we try to bury it deep down, it will bubble up to the surface at some point in one way, shape, or form. Wow. Wow.
I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my. We trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my. Erase ourselves.
There's the flicker.
In these chalk outlines.
One thing that's really cool about what he's doing here is he's added like this, oh my. And you would think that, like, that almost sounds like what you'd hear in a really pep song, like a really happy song, like that catchy chorus hook, right? That gets people singing the song. But listen to the way that he's singing it. It's not sang in a triumphant, oh, like, listen to this part and feel happy. It's almost haunting, the way that he's singing it, and that's what it is, right? It's a mix. It's that thing that's supposed to, it's that pop aspect, or like that uplifting aspect to the song where it should be a hook and it should get you feeling kind of more into the music, which is what the pill is. It's that thing that's supposed to make you feel better, but really it's haunted, right? It's not true happiness, right? Not necessarily, if you're not dealing with the other things that are truly at the heart of what's causing you to feel that way. Wow. Jeez.
Sertraline and a sip of serotonin.
She's got a beautiful voice.
Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything.
First of all, sertraline and a sip of serotonin. So I used to work in a pharmacy. So sertraline actually is like Zoloft, and overall it's kind of meant for anxiety, for deep depression, for moods. Same thing, kind of serotonin. Serotonin, usually it helps us kind of in terms of hormones, keep the happy hormone in our system for longer. And both of those also can work towards your sleep. And kind of this goes back to the start of the song where we weren't able to sleep. Right, this is almost the answer, saying just take sertraline, just take serotonin, and it'll help you kind of get to that sleeping point and feel better, right? But again, it's taking a medication that might not be addressing the real issue, but we're taking it anyways because that's the only way we know how to deal with the situation. And just wow, this is amazing. I really want to commend them for kind of addressing such a heavy topic too, because a lot of people experience this, right? And we have our own vices. It's not just like drugs or substance abuse or even prescribed medication, which is drugs, but it could be anything, right? Some of us have other vices, that we have other things that we use to kind of act as crutches when we're experiencing something painful. But this song is addressing the issue that sometimes those vices, they make us feel better, but they're not really getting to the root cause. And if you're not getting to the root cause, they're not doing anything beneficial for you other than creating another bad habit. Wow.
Take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine.
There it is.
The feeling goes and you draw a chalk outline.
Look at the way she's singing that too. Like, there's that, it's almost like she's calling out, like, or like just, just like done with what she's experiencing. You can see her shoulders go back, her head goes up, and she's kind of just done. And so it's like that feeling of, let me just take this and just get to where I need to feel. I don't want to feel like this anymore. Let me get away from this feeling. But then, like she said, you're getting that chalk outline. Sure, you're feeling better in terms of mood and maybe overall like emotion, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't feel better if you didn't take whatever it was that you took, which means that it's just tape, it's just band-aids on a much bigger problem, because you still need to address that inner issue, or you're going to become someone who is not truly a version of yourself. You're a chalk outline. You're hollowed out.
So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe.
Even that image, you're balanced on your toes so you can breathe. You're on like your tippy toes because you're just trying. You're just trying to survive, right? You're trying to survive, and if you don't balance on your toes, if you let go, that noose is going to tighten around your neck, and then that's it. That's the end. And that's that feeling that you're getting throughout kind of this whole process, this whole vicious cycle. And then that's what drives you back to the vicious cycle, and then you're caught in the loop. And it's just it's what leads to chalk outlines.
But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while.
No, I cut them off in the middle there, but it's push it back down with a new habit. And so it's not even necessarily the substance abuse. Now we're talking about those other vices, right? But no matter what it is again, we're pushing it back down. That it is your emotions, those things that you're dealing with, those traumas. And traumas are hard, exceptionally hard to deal with, exceptionally hard to go through, especially alone. And so we push it down little by little, as much as we can. We pack it inside so that we don't have to deal with it. And then that's what leads us to these moments where we're like chalk outlines. We're not really dealing with our things properly, and we end up diving into bad habits to reduce the anxiety, reduce the discordance that we feel between who we are and who we want to be, or even who we are in our, like, what's happening in our life. We want to get away from it, and so we take whatever we can, whatever out we have. And this is actually talking about multiple vicious cycles, because it's saying a new habit, which means we've been doing this before, right? It's happened before, and we understand that, we know that. But still, this is the only way that we can be free of that feeling. And so you're trapped. You're quite literally trapped. Your head is in the noose. You're trying to breathe, but you're trapped in this vicious cycle, and you feel like you're slowly dying on the inside, which leaves you with that chalk outline. Wow. And just the emotion. Look, now it's almost like they're begging each other. And if this is kind of different sides of yourself, it's almost you pleading with yourself, like, we can't keep doing this. But we have to keep doing this because that's what feels good. It's what helps us feel better. And you just cannot keep living the way you feel you've been living, where everything feels just so damn hard, right? And so there we go back to the bad habit.
If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my, erase ourselves.
This is gorgeous. Like, I can't even begin to explain just the way that they're singing this, the way that the whole video is being shot. You feel like you're going crazy, so you're in all white. You feel like you're starting to feel better, so you can hear their voices starting to get to a crescendo here. But even the crescendo is haunted because it's not really feeling better unless you're dealing with the stuff that's happening inside. And just the way that they're almost begging each other through the song, right? It's almost like they're saying, please feel better. Just I don't want to deal with this anymore. And there's like this hollowness to their singing right now. Even when they're getting, there's like, you know, the great big smile. It's not real. You don't feel it. My God, this is so powerful. See, and even that sounded haunted.
It's such a perfect day. Take it just in case.
Oh
Take
no.
it just in case.
Such a perfect day. Take it just in case. It's that voice in the back of your mind, right? Like, things feel pretty good today. But they usually start to turn, and it's like the voice of doubt in your mind saying, this isn't going to go well. Maybe we should just take a pill. Because now at this point, it's almost like you're addicted to the feeling of it, right? You're addicted to that idea. But also, it's just because you're scared. You're worried that you're gonna end up having a day that completely turns on itself, right? And then you're back at that place where you don't want to be, where everything feels terrible, where you can't sleep, where your mind is racing. So why not just before we get there, take that pill? Take it just in case. Yeah.
I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. All things change.
Scared of being okay because all things change. It's a couple of things, because it's like I'm scared of being okay because I don't even necessarily remember what it's like to be okay anymore. So is okay even okay anymore? But also, it's like all things change. So even if you end up feeling okay, at some point, I might drop back down. I might go back into a moment where my life sucks, and I want to go and take it just in case that happens as well, right? Holy, Ren and Chinchilla just killing this. Holy smokes, this is such a hard hitting topic, and to do it in such a beautifully haunting way is so amazing. And the thing is, like, it's personal experiences that have led to this song being created, so it's so much more kudos to both of these individuals for, like, I don't necessarily know if they've ever experienced this kind of like addiction to the substances. I'm assuming that there's been that in their lives. I have done a little bit more reading on Ren, but I don't know much about Chinchilla. So there has been substances that have played a role, and this is coming from the heart. This is coming from the soul, right? This is writing something that you experienced, and the vulnerability of putting yourself out there like this is to be like, hats off, because not everyone can do this, right? Not everyone can say the trauma that they experience, or sorry, like kind of depict the trauma they've experienced or tackle the trauma you've experienced in this way, because it's so, you feel naked when you're doing it, right? You feel exposed, and that takes so much courage. So amazing, just all around.
'Cause all things change. All things change. It's such a perfect day. It's a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful shade.
Oh my god, the way her pitch went up there, right? It's almost like she's crying, right? It almost sounds like she's crying. And that's how part of you inside feels. It's like everything, you're worried. You're worried when you're not fine. You're worried when you're fine. When does it get better? And so internally, you're breaking down. You're upset. You're crying because you don't know what to do anymore. And then it leads us back to the vicious cycle.
I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. But little by little, bit by bit, I'll push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my.
Holy smokes. The power in the delivery of this, guys, is outstanding. Just watching them both almost like push their whole soul into the song. Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like they're taking this song and they're squeezing it, or sorry, their soul, and they're squeezing it into this song. You can hear the oh, man, I'm just so flustered. Sorry, this is so amazing. You can hear like just the frustration. You can hear the pleading. You can hear the just wanting things to be better in both of their voices as they begin to almost, the music falls out, and you're left with just the introspection of like, please just improve. Just let me feel better. Oh my, please let me feel better. Oh my god. Just I want to just go back to this part, because just watch the music fall out, the emotion starts to build internally, and that's what's leading to this kind of just giving it your all in this one verse, pushing your whole soul forward. Being vulnerable. Oh my god.
I'll push it back down with a new
The
habit. If
frustration.
not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile.
That almost sounds angry. A great big smile. And at first it sounded like we were mocking it. Now it's like we're mocking it and we're angry because it's been so long. When is it going to stop? Let this be over. I don't want to do this great big smile if it's fake. I don't want to do a great big smile unless I feel happy inside. But goddamn, I just don't see any other solution. And that's what we're seeing here. And now it's like we're angry. We're angry almost at the world, but it's each other. And this could even be like, if you're looking at the two dynamics of it, it could be one part of yourself is angry with the other part of yourself, the part that keeps kind of falling back into this process. But it's like, what are you to do if it just doesn't get better or just doesn't feel better? And part of what you need to do is talk about it, right? But we push it down. We don't let it up because we think that's better for us, better for the people around us. But by doing so, we actually hurt the people around us. Sometimes, quite literally, the people around us, because we kind of snap, right? We lash out at people when we're angry, we're upset, we project our emotions, so it quite literally hurts them, but we're hurting ourselves for sure. Because if you don't understand why you're upset, if you don't go and dive into your trauma, try to, and obviously this you can't always do it on your own, right? Sometimes you need someone else, sometimes you need a professional. But if you don't address it in any way, shape, or form, it's going to always be there, lingering, bubbling up, getting bigger inside you until it becomes this monster in our minds that keeps us up at night, which is why we can't sleep. Wow.
We trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my. Erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
And then we just drop out at the end, just stare hollowly off into the distance, and just she paints the chalk outline with her hand, because that's kind of what we're left with now. The music has gone away. Sound falls out. It's just this voice, this kind of smaller voice now, right? It's not this powerful voice. It's a smaller voice staring off into the distance like it's seeing a ghost, but it's the ghost of ourselves in the distance, right? Because now we're just the chalk outline. And that's what she's seeing. Like, this whole thing. And one thing she did throughout the whole video is you can really feel her mannerisms. With Ren, you can feel it in high Ren just from the way we were kind of tuning into the way that he was looking around. And you can see he's capable of it too, but here he's got a guitar, so he's not able to do it as much. With her, she's able to move her hands and be really expressive. And she keeps doing this, right? Bringing them up, going like this. And that's what we do when we're not only frustrated, but we feel like we're going crazy. So we grab our head, and that's what she's trying to express is like, that's the reason that you're doing this. That's the reason that you're painting yourself in your chalk outline, is because you feel like you're losing your mind. You feel like everything is falling apart. You feel angry, like you're going crazy. You're not sure what else to do. And that's what, this is the only option that you have left to you. At least that's what it feels like. And then and there it is. The lights go out because now it could, oh man, it could be two things. One, maybe, sorry, maybe that part of you now is finally like dead, right? It's not finally in a good way, it's finally in a terrible way, but it's gone. And so now the lights have gone out. Now it's the chalk outline, right? The inside of a chalk outline is usually black, and that's what we're seeing here, the blackness, the darkness, the end. Light is gone, right? But even if we go back to High Ren, it could be the devil has won. That side of us that wanted to go back to the bad habit, it won. That's why it's gone dark, because that side took over now, and so the light is gone. And it's just all so beautiful. Holy shoot, man. Like, this is what addiction would, this is what it feels like, right? Because at the end of the day, actually, I'll give a kind of a conclusion. I just want to see if there's anything else. I don't think there is, but I don't know. Yeah, see, and the choice, like, think about how many seconds there were there that, like, ultimately lead us to, oh, put the wrong thing away, sorry. That ultimately lead us to, like that whole thing at the end, right? It's all dark for so long. It's like about 10 seconds, I'd say, of darkness. And that's what it feels like, right? And that's such a smart choice, because it's like saying, this is what that feels like. When you've gone and you've made yourself a chalk outline, this is what's left. And this is that feeling of imposing doom, the darkness coming over your shoulder. Wow. Just wow. And it just persists, right? For how long it has already. And it really kind of sends the message of what it feels like to be trapped in that cycle, because it feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Quite literally, it was just darkness for 10 seconds. And that's a choice. The song, the video, is 5 minutes and 42 seconds. 10 whole seconds spent in darkness at the end. To make it kind of drive home the idea that when you feel trapped in this vicious cycle, this is what it feels like. And to end it on that is also in such an incredible choice, because we're almost saying that at the end of the day, we went back to that bad habit, and we've sunk again. What a stylistic and just the whole thing was gorgeous in such a haunting way. But that's what makes it more powerful too, because this is what we experience, right? This happens. This is what happens to a lot of us every day, right? We have a significant either trauma or something that's upsetting us, something that hurts us, something that makes us feel not good, and we turn to our vices, right? We turn to whatever it is, and they're what make us feel better, even though in truth, if we're not dealing with the actual problem, the root cause, we're not going to get better. We're just going to feel better. But even that, just the feeling better, is better than having felt like you're trapped in that emotion. And so we still go back to those vices. Wow. Just another amazing, amazing performance, amazing song, amazing video, just everything collectively was just so good and so powerful and so connected. And we're going down the rabbit hole, everyone. I think the next couple of videos are gonna be Ren. I hope you like Ren, because god damn, this has been spectacular. I think the next one we'll probably check out is Tales of Jenny and Screech, and I think Violet. Because a lot of people have been asking for those too, but also I've heard a lot of really good things about that, and so I'm very interested. And Ren has not failed me yet. Like, this is just amazing. And again, this is a live performance. Like, that's incredibly difficult. The person who always impressed me with live performances was Ed Sheeran, and Ren is now starting to be kind of one of the best live performers I've ever seen. So, honestly, shout outs to him. All in all, beautiful, meaningful, very, very meaningful. So many people struggle with this idea. But at the end of the day, like, I think the message here is we have to deal with what we're feeling. We have to deal with our traumas. We have to talk to other people about the things that we're feeling. Sometimes it's not possible to get through it on our own. Don't bury it. Don't push it down inside. We have to talk about it. We have to deal with it. And that's super important. Wow. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, or subscribe. If you're going through anything that you feel like you want to talk about, I don't know if you've noticed, we're having conversations in the comment section, so feel free. We're here for each other. We're here to support each other. We're here to go through life together. This is a human experience, and we're all human at the end of the day. So whatever you're going through, I promise you there will be something that we can talk about, a light at the end of the tunnel that is positive and ends with you feeling better. So please feel free. If you want to share down there, go ahead and we'll talk about it. But if not, I'll see you on the next one. Much love.